You know, I'm going to break this movie down for you as to why I didn't like it. But that ending, like, if that's not the biggest cop-out I've ever seen, that, in fact, like, I don't even know what the fuck they were thinking. Welcome to Happywax TV. So tonight we're talking about a movie called They Reach. It came out in Germany. I think it was last week. The Blu-ray DVD came out. One of my friends over there, one of my subs, who actually sends me quite a bit. For some reason, a lot of movies get released over in Germany before they come here to Canada and the US. A lot of these low-budget horror movies or video-on-demand stuff. So anyways, as he always does, he sent me a copy over. So I sat down and watched it. And wow, I never even heard of this movie before, so I kind of went in blind, But then after I checked and I had my opinion on it, and then afterwards, like I always do, I go on the internet and do some research on it, see who's in it and what are people saying about it that have seen it and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of times I'll argue and fight with the people on IMDb about the rating, but I got to tell you, man, like right now it's sitting at a 3.4 out of 10. I might give it a little bit higher than that, but it's damn close, man. That ending of this movie was the biggest cop-out, ball-dropping fucking ending. Like what the fuck were they thinking when they wrote that? So anyways, let me get through the meat here. So it's directed by Salis Dahl. He also wrote it, did the screenplay for it. It's got kind of a smaller cast. Mary Madeline Rowe plays Jessica Daniels. This is her first kind of feature-length role, and I thought she did a really good job. For the most part, the acting in here is pretty spot on. If you go read some of the reviews on IMDb, they just, they say it's poor acting. Not really. There was only one person who I had issues with for their acting, and I'll tell you, it was cringeworthy. I'm not going to say their name, but it was the sheriff, the guy that played the sheriff. Just when you see this movie, just watch, man. Like, some of his scenes were hard to watch, man. It was like, I don't know if he forgot his lines or what, but I don't know. It just seemed forced, or like he was told his lines like seconds before he had to say them. It just, I don't know, he just didn't gel with the people he was talking for the most part. But anyways, Morgan Chandler's in this, and Eden Campbell is in this. She plays Cheddar. Again, there's a lot of good with this movie, okay? It's clearly made, for the teenage kind of an age group. Okay, you can see that. So if you're like an old fart like I am, you may not like this movie as much. It's almost like watching Stranger Things, but there's this fine line. And I'm not going to go into detail to describe it, but when you watch Stranger Things, it's like, there's so much good with it, and it's just, I don't know, there's just something about it that works, and like any age group can enjoy that film. But for this movie here, and I don't know what it is, I mean, aside from the ending, which was fucking like, what the fuck, but it's just, it's almost the same thing. I mean, it takes place in 1979. I mean, the props and stuff they had in the cars were like spot on, man. Like this, listen, if there's anything I enjoyed about this film was seeing all these fucking relics and collectibles and antiques that are in this fucking movie that I haven't seen since I was a kid. It was great. I spent most of the movie just looking at the background scenery of all the stuff on the wall and stuff. It was crazy. You know what I mean? But there's just, I don't know, it just didn't lack that, or it doesn't have that oomph that Stranger Things had. And I can see why a lot of people aren't into this movie, and it is what it is, but that ending, man, holy fuck. But anyways, basically I'll read the synopsis. In 1979, a young girl stumbles upon a possessed tape player. She unknowingly unleashes a demonic entity that haunts her family while slowly dragging the small town of Clarkson to hell. Well, that's this movie. At the very beginning of it, we're introduced to this priest and his sidekick, and then they're trying to get the devil out of this boy, and that scene's pretty cool. It kind of leaves you wondering what the fuck is going on, which is fine, because you're supposed to think through these movies, not have everything force-fed to you. It's explained in the third act, and you understand why and how this tape recorder that she finds in this this antique store you know, how it's possessed and you know, how this demon gets released. And I mean, it's not really a new story. I mean, it's cool that they have a tape player that's you know, possessed now, as opposed to whatever, you know, Ouija boards and shit like that. You know, and I'll tell you something, another thing that I liked about this movie was the gore. You know, I got into this flick and I was thinking, okay, this is just going to be a teeny bopper, fucking almost like a made-for-TV style movie. And it kind of had that feel, but when there's gore on the screen, like, there's a lot of blood in this movie, in the scenes where it requires a lot of blood. So I will give them credit for that. They didn't cheap out in that part. And, you know, eventually we do, and I don't want to give spoilers, but I mean, it's right in the trailer. Eventually we do see the entity or the demon. And you know, even though I felt we didn't get to see it enough, when it was in the you know, in the frame, I thought it looked pretty cool for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, the special effects were on point. You could tell that some of them were CGI, and I mean, it's obvious, but there's a lot of practical blood and gore in this movie too, which was really, really nice. But man, I'll tell you, I don't know. There was just something about it. I mean, this isn't like a bad movie per se, but again, I shouldn't compare the two, but I mean, Stranger Things just does something, you know what I mean, where it puts it up over the top. And Stranger Things is a teeny bopper TV show. It really is, if you break it down and you look at it. But all audiences, all age groups can enjoy that. But for this movie, I don't know. It's made for teens, and it just doesn't know how to get out of that bubble. You know what I mean? So it can, you know, reach a wider audience, and that's how I felt. Aside from the gore and all the cool, you know, relics from the 70s and 80s that I saw in this flick, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't catch me. And then the ending. Okay, listen, I don't want to give spoilers, but I'm telling you, man, the ending of this movie is the biggest fucking cop-out. If anything would have saved this movie, I mean, they had the ending to work with. They had the perfect setup to just fucking wipe everybody out, you know what I mean, and leave some sort of a shocking fucking killer ending. And they totally fucking dropped the ball, man. Like, are you Listen, I don't want to give the ending away. Please watch this movie, like I say with all flicks. Give it a chance. I'm going to give it a rating. I'm going to give it just right on the cusp of 5. Okay, the old school feel and the gore in this movie saved it, you know, from a failing grade. But I'll give it right on the cusp. I'll give it a 5. Okay, but the ending, holy fuck, man. Well, what were you thinking? Like, that was the worst fucking ending of a movie. The biggest cheeseball cop out that I've ever seen in my life. So I'm not going to go into it. Just please watch it, and you will see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Man, oh man, what a shame. Trust me, there's a lot of potential in this movie for it to be a fucking great movie. And it's just, you know, it just doesn't know how to break out of its bubble and hit that Stranger Things kind of a fucking category. But then if they had any hope, it was shattered with this horseshit, cop-out, fucking feel-good ending, man. I was like, come on, guys, you just didn't do that. So, anyways, again, this is just my opinion, but I'm always right. I'm always right. 99.9% of the time, I'm always right. And if you think I'm wrong, watch the fucking movie, go rent it when it comes out, and come back and tell me. And tell me what I just said was not true. And I guarantee you won't, especially when you see the ending of this movie. So anyways, it's called They Reach. If you live in Germany, I guess you can go buy the Blu-ray and DVD. I'm not sure when this is going to come video on demand. I will post it when I get a release date over here in Canada. I'll post it on my Facebook page, Happywax TV. Links are in the description. Also, too, if you've stuck around to the very end listening to me ramble, make sure you sign up for Happywax TV on Facebook. Doesn't cost you a cent, and it literally takes 2 fucking seconds to hit that button to join. If you want to, 3, 4, 5 nights a week on my Facebook channel, I show watch parties. Old horror movies and stuff of that nature. So if you want to join us for that, that'd be awesome for you to come on board. So anyways, okay, done. They Reach. If you have seen this, let me know what you think. If you haven't, when it does come out, go rent it, come back, let me know what you think, guys. And until next time, stay scared.